everyone, this is Kim from Reed Property Management. This month's video, I would like to talk about mold versus mildew. A lot of my residents call in and think they have mold when in fact that it's mildew. I've asked Mike from Paradise Coast Restoration to join me as he is very knowledgeable in mold versus mildew. I recently saw one of his presentations and it reminds me a lot of what I've seen out there, good, bad, and ugly. Mike, thank you so much.
No problem, Kim.
The main thing is, what is the difference between mold and mildew? I know it, you know it. How can we educate people to know what they're looking at?
So mildew is typically a fluffy white substance that people find in showers or very humid environments that are constantly getting that humidity. It's not mold. Mold is much more toxic to people than mildew is.
So pretty much when they think that the caulking has mold in it, it is in fact mildew.
That is exactly right.
Probably some bleach will take care of it.
Most
Good
likely,
scrubbing,
yep.
something.
Bleach and whatever kind of bathroom cleaners that people use.
Okay, great. Which is more harmful to humans, mold or mildew?
Mold is much more harmful to humans. Mold can be toxic, where mildew typically is not a health concern for people. It's just a
Cleanliness?
yeah, cleanliness and an appearance issue.
Right, absolutely. I know that there are some molds out there that are not harmful, and you know, everybody always is concerned the moment they see mold, it's always black mold. Florida, my understanding, has a lot of different types of mold.
There's a lot of different types of mold, and some of those molds are toxic. Some are more of an allergenic issue where people have asthma issues, coughing, sneezing, runny noses. Stachybotrys is typically what people call black mold.
Okay.
And Stachybotrys is the worst type of mold. It needs constant water though.
Okay.
If you have Stachybotrys, it can cause a lot of different health issues. Out of those 5 toxic molds, people can have lung issues, you can get cancer, brain abscesses, and then allergen or allergy issues as well.
Exactly. But at the same time, all mold has a source.
Exactly. And
So if the tenant is doing their due diligence and checking all their water sources under their sink, around their toilets, by their water heater, this will help stop it from growing and getting out of control.
correct, and proper dehumidification with the air conditioning system is also very important. You know, it's important to have the temperature below 79 degrees, typically 74 to 78.
Okay.
And if you have a humidistat, you need to just have that dial in the on position so that it's constantly being dehumidified rather than putting it on one of the settings for the humidistat, which people typically do, and it's a horrible problem when you have a humidity bloom.
Okay, great. I know that time frames for remediations vary based on the severity of the problem, but typically, can you describe what people can expect if, especially our owners out there? This question I really feel is for the owners on the time frames of that it doesn't get cleaned up overnight. There's an actual procedure that you use at your company to ensure that everything is taken care of.
Yeah, it's very important not to cross-contaminate unaffected areas.
Okay.
So the first step in the mold remediation process is to hire a licensed mold assessor. That mold assessor will take samples of the mold, an air test as well as physical samples. They then send that off to a lab. A lab reviews the results. After the lab has reviewed reviewed the lab samples, the assessor will write a protocol report as to how to remediate the mold and what steps are necessary in order to get rid of it.
Based on the mold that they find, whether it's
Correct.
one of the other types of mold.
Yeah, because there's lots of mold outside that, you know, isn't really an issue indoors as long as levels are pretty low. The water damage types of molds are the toxic molds for humans. So it typically takes 3 to 5 days for a mold remediation process, or during the process. But after the cleanup of the remediation is done, then an assessor has to come back out, retest, send to the lab to show that the mold remediation project was done properly, and now there's no longer an issue.
Mike, thank you so much for helping me with this today and educating my residents and my owners. Residents, always call Reed Property Management if you have any concerns, so we can send Mike out to take a look at it and let us know whether it's something to worry about or not. Anybody else that watches my videos, if they're interested in Mike's services at Paradise Coast Restoration, they can reach him at 239-394-0018. Look forward to my video next month, because I'm going to start talking about preventative ways to avoid mold and how to detect leaks before they happen. Thank you and have a great day.